you. So how is the president's visit in Maui going to be received on the island, happening nearly 2 weeks after wildfires swept through the area, incinerating nearly everything in their path? Let's go now to NewsNation correspondent Annie Rose. She joins us live from Maui now. Annie, I saw you in a report earlier live on NewsNation interviewing a woman who was on that missing list and has now been accounted for. It got me wondering, I mean, almost 800 people still technically missing. Is the hope that most of those people are alive and have not just formally registered yet?
Brian, of course, it differs depending on which family you're talking to. I spoke to one man who is still missing his mother. He flew over from Texas. He's staying with his stepfather at the Westin down the street, and he's saying, I still have hope. I have hope that someone picked her up. She is wheelchair bound and is leaving her and is keeping her in the house, and she's talking someone's ear off right now and just can't get a hold of us, because you got to remember that cell phone service still remains spotty, not just here in Lahaina, but on the entire island. Now, Brian, I'm standing here in front of the Civic Center because this is where the president is eventually going to go. They just within the past couple of minutes have let in over 100 people. We're talking about not just Lahaina residents and survivors, but people from across the island, because there were multiple wildfires happening 2 weeks ago across this entire island, where they want to have everybody coming in. But when we did speak to people who are going to be part of this lunch when the president gets here, they do say that they're not allowed to ask questions at this lunch, and we know that a lot of folks have these questions. Now, one of the reasons why this is happening here is because this is one of the areas of Lahaina that hasn't burned. You can see some of those burn scars over here, that the fire barely came up to the Civic Center and just touched it, but where they were able to get it to stop. Now, I want to come down here because Marshall is one of the folks that lost everything in the Lahaina fire. Marshall, take a second here, if we could, to talk to you a little bit about, we've been talking about, federal assistance coming into the island. I know that there are still a lot of questions on behalf of the entire community, like how many people are still missing. At this point, 80% of the burned area now searched. We expect that death toll to rise, but what is your main concern?
Transparency, like who's in charge? Like, where can we get like an open report, closed report, and like what is their operation for the day? What area got searched? And like, if we wanted help or something, there's no medic tent anywhere to go to, and at least a website we can log in and look at all the different resources we can go to.
I know a big concern we also were talking about earlier is, you were saying, the air. The toxicity of the air. They've been handing out masks to us as media, as well as other folks here in the area. They recommend that we wear it because depending on how the wind blows, you were also saying that's a big issue for you.
Yes, they claim there's toxins in the air, there's hazmat all over the place. So what kind of hazmat and which areas? I have not seen one air sample station anywhere.
So you're concerned about what you're breathing?
Yes.
Marshall, what's your message for the president?
Just give us transparency. Let us know, let the whole world what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's who's in charge of this operation? What's going on? Why did it take this long for deploy these people out here?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And, this is one question that so many people have. Sorry, it's a little unstable here, but it's one question that so many people have. We also heard from the mayor of Maui, who talked last weekend, and he was able to make himself available to the press, to the media, but folks who came to that meeting were members of the public, Brian, and they approached the mayor and asked him, do you know how many children are missing? Of those 850 people who are still remain unaccounted for, how many of them are children? The mayor, unwilling, unable at first to say he could answer that, and then unwilling and sort of threatened at one point to shut down the press conference altogether. So a lot of people still wondering, lots of questions. You can see over here, we're going to turn around because there's some military police here gearing up for the president. We understand right now that the president is getting that tour of Lahaina, some of the hardest hit areas, both via helicopter. We just heard from your other reporter in D.C. talking about he's getting a tour from the helicopter, but also on foot on the ground. And then he'll be delivering that public speech, and then he'll be coming here to meet with all those people that you saw falling in to the Civic Center. Brian, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.